Earthgod here, and it's time to talk about Dandadan. In this episode, we had some granny on granny action. Things were very interesting. And how is she so hot? Even though she's a grandma, like, I don't know, but best girl in the show just showed up. I know you guys can have Momo. I'm gonna take the grandma. And that's it. Case closed. She's mine. But anyway, let's see with this episode. This one is very much a build up for next week, but I appreciate episodes like this. We got some world building, some power ups, in a way explaining some things during the fight, and some interesting things being laid up for the future. So let's get into it. Now it starts with our grandma. Apparently she's a psychic doing readings on live TV, even though nobody believed her. Apparently she was fully wronged. Well, until the end of the episode, we're gonna get back into that. She was called Santa Dodori. Apparently she has this reputation, or is that her stage name? I'm not sure about that. But what I liked here is she showed up at the perfect timing, because last week we saw Okarun being taken over by the curse, and he was about to go after Momo. But probably the coolest part of the episode for me were just the barriers and the nails thing. How that fight went in, Turbo Granny versus our sexy grandma there. Just having the nail on the inside or on the outside, depends how the barrier is gonna work. That was really cool, and shows like she has very good mind for battles. Like she set up that trapdoor beforehand. She knew she's gonna have the downside of the speed versus the Turbo Granny, and actually was controlling the fight really well. But this is not the full fight here. After this, it cuts off, and I'm like, wait, I was expecting a bit more for the fight, but I'm happy the direction it went after this, because in my mind I was like, hey, the preview showing the grandma versus grandmother, this is gonna be really good. They're gonna clash, and what's gonna happen after that? We did get that, but also liking where it's ending after this. More focused on Okarun and Momo, but we're gonna get that towards the end here. After the small fight we had, it cuts off. She's just chilling at the TV, laughing at jokes here, and she reminded me quite a lot of the main character from the Fable. I'm not gonna say anything about the Fable. Do yourself a favor and watch it. Such a fun show there. And here is where we see a bit of the relationship between herself and Momo, how they start bickering a bit. But underlining, I have a feeling she really wants to protect Momo from this entire world there, and Momo's first thought was instantly, where is Okarun? What have you done with him? And she actually begs her to tell her where she is, what happened to him. The bickering back and forth and the teasing there was great. And she rushes. He's in an altar there to keep his curse under control, and she was so worried, so thinking, going into her head all of the worst scenarios and everything, blaming herself and so on, and she was just relaxing, eating dumplings when she saw that. The embarrassment to control, that was so cute between them. And the grandma starts teasing her quite a lot. Hey, you love him, you love him. I'm laughing quite a lot at the series. I'm really enjoying that aspect with the characters here. But after this we get a bit more lore, so to say, of the Turbo Granny, and apparently the grandma also went in to check the tunnel, but she couldn't get close to it, because there are types of spirits here tied to territory, and when you're in that territory, they're the strongest, and nobody goes to challenge them on their territory. And apparently the Turbo Granny used with that type of spirit, so sort of two spirits into them right now. I'm not sure what that means. She's a modern spirit in a way, infused with the territorial one. I'm curious, what does that mean? Which personality is more in control? Are we gonna get more info on the original spirit also? But that's probably later on, and I have a feeling the Turbo Granny is more at the forefront right now. But I liked Momo instantly wanting to help Okarun and getting more teased about it. So they have a plan, or a long-term plan, which, yeah, as we know, plans don't really work out that well here. Now, they want to have a race, play tag with the Turbo Granny, but they need to lure it outside of the city, out of its territory. There, and the grandma, also the grandma, the hot grandma on our side, can only use her powers also inside, so they're gonna be at a disadvantage. Also, the power of the gods. So the gods here apparently work kind of the same. It feels like territorial gods of the city. So they're gonna have to train and find a way to lure it out. Momo's gonna have to train her psychic powers, and Okarun gonna have to train his stamina, physical powers there. But that's not really gonna work out. Him having to do the actual One Punch Man training regime there. But the conversation between them was really cute. Just shows Okarun's insecurities, how much he wants to have a friend, not to be left behind, even apologizing about what happened during the fight, not thinking of her and thanking her for saving him. And he promises that next time he's gonna save her. But I liked how Momo, no, don't worry about it. Next time I'm gonna keep on saving you. But the words that stuck with me was him, while saying all of that, keep being my friend, kind of don't leave me behind. And after that, they started bickering. They're great together. The chemistry is off the charts here, and she actually compliments him. You are awesome, but I'm still gonna save you. So I do hope we're gonna keep having more moments like that here. But after this, we see that in fact she was right at the start of the episode, that idol guy did have a kid and he lied about a lot of things. So she definitely has some recognition or profit, or I don't know how her powers works, but she knew the secrets of that guy there. And the cute moment, the race to go to the toilet, Okarun holding it in and couldn't go because of the curse, but he also didn't want to have Momo stand beside him and watching him. But it ends up in that way. She still has to watch him take a dump and piss because why not here? And also slowly we see a bit more of Momo's powers, and apparently she can sense aura of things, and that's how she even sees the curse around it, kind of blocks it with her hands like a mental image in a way here, and the bickering back and forth there. But also somehow her powers got sealed, because we saw them awakening, and even she says kind of felt invincible when they were fully awakened, but right now they're not that strong. So I'm curious, of course she's gonna have to train to get to that point, but were they actually sealed, or is she just not used to them? So still don't know how she got her powers. Of course, with Okarun we know his transformation and everything is related to the Turbo Granny there. But speaking of the Turbo Granny, she kind of gives them an ultimatum and puts everybody in danger. We see them all start bleeding from everywhere and puts them in a state of death, in a way even telling her, I'm leaving the grandmother, choose her own death. So I'm curious how that works, but the ultimatum is come to the tunnel now or I'm gonna curse everybody, because apparently everybody that Okarun sees is susceptible to be affected by the curse, contagious curse there. So that's really, really dangerous, to say the least. Come to the tunnel tonight, or everybody gets cursed. So next week we're probably gonna have a very interesting fight or race, or depending how that is gonna go there. And I'm very excited, and this is why I said this is gonna be more of a build-up episode. But I'm glad we had two balls to the walls episode, to say the least. Not to say this one wasn't good; it was really good, but for different reasons. And my favorite thing was the fight at the start, the barrier thing. I like that, really, really genius there. But now they have the traditional armor against spirits, their traditional suits, like a Miko and a priest in a way there. But I like the moment when she told Momo, don't die, I beg you. Just shows how much she cares for her, our sexy grandma, kind of offering up prayers maybe to the gods, just saying protect them. But Momo also cares for her in turn quite a lot, because she's not just doing this to save Okarun, to protect him. She also wants her own revenge for putting her grandma in danger. So I really like that dual motivation in a way. And also have a post-credit scene, so make sure you didn't miss it out. Go back to the episode and come back here, of course. They instantly go to the tunnel, but Momo decides to get her own clothes, the Gyaru armor. Fashion is very important there, and she seems to be having quite a lot of fun considering the situation. So overall, fun episode. I'm very excited for next week. I'm really curious how things are gonna go into the tunnel. But just what you guys thought about the episode? What do you think about the sexy grandma? And are you excited for next week? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos. So keep enjoying Dandadan. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.